Aibo, namaste. Welcome to Yoga Kirtan Hawaii's program tonight, entitled Soul Journey of Self-Discovery. And my name is Mahabhagavat Das, and I'm your host tonight. And so Yoga Kirtan Hawaii is the outreach arm of a large organization known as the Science of Identity Foundation, which was founded by Jagatguru Siddhasarupananda Paramahansa, who's a disciple of His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So my spiritual master and his spiritual master is coming in a long line of spiritual teachers or a spiritual tradition known as the Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. And so this is a very ancient disciplic line beginning with the Supreme Person himself. And so these Sampradaya is handing down these yoga teachings, transcendental knowledge, and also the different yoga practices that Yoga Kirtan Hawaii teaches. So our program tonight, we're going to first start with some kirtan, and then there's a soul journey, a spiritual self-discovery yoga wisdom class, and this will be followed by a short kirtan afterwards. So we're going to start the program with some kirtan, and kirtan is the chanting of transcendental sound vibrations or mantras. So the word mantra is a Sanskrit word, which is a ancient Indian language, or actually it's not an Indian language, but from modern perspective it's viewed as a Indian language. And this Sanskrit word mantra has two parts to it, man, which refers to the mind, and tra, which means to draw away. So the mantra draws the mind away from this material dimension and takes it to the spiritual dimension. So the mantras are either the names of the Supreme Person, or words spoken by Him, or words about Him. And these mantras or sacred sound vibrations, they're like a lifeline that is being thrown to us. So we're in this material world, this material dimension, and sometimes it's likened to an ocean, a material ocean. And so if you can imagine, you're out in the ocean, out in the middle of the ocean. Somehow you've ended up out there, and you're not in a boat. You're just kind of like swimming, wading in the water, attempting to stay afloat so that you don't go under the water and drown. And then suddenly along comes someone in a helicopter, and they drop a rope down to you, and you kind of lifeline, and you're like, oh, the sense of relief, and you grab hold of this lifeline, and then the people in the helicopter like winch you up, haul you up to the helicopter. And this is like, so the analogy is here we are in this material world, and we were receiving these transcendental sound vibrations, these mantras, these sacred sounds, and we can actually grab hold of them just like a lifeline and get pulled out of this material world into the spiritual world, just as the helicopter and the lifeline, as you're drowning in the ocean, you can grab hold of it and be taken up to the helicopter and be safe. So this is what mantras are. They're like a transcendental spiritual lifeline being thrown to you. And so please, we invite you to take advantage of this lifeline that's being thrown to you, this kirtan that we'll be doing. So we'll be chanting the mantra Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana Mohana. And Kirtan is done in a call and response way. A person leads and we all listen and then we respond. And my wife, Radhisham Dasi, will come and lead us in a Kirtan. And so she'll lead and I will respond. And when I respond, you can join in with me. Radhisham? Haribol? So, at this time, sorry for the yelling. So at this time,
Is someone there?
no, I'm waiting. Come on.
Oh, okay.
It's at this time we invite you to take rest, sit back, take shelter in these transcendental sound vibrations, just as I'm taking shelter in this chair. Just sit back and relax. Take the transcendental sound vibrations within your mind and heart. And if your mind begins to wander, just bring your mind back to the Kirtan, to the transcendental sound vibrations.
Hello everyone, namaste, thanks for coming. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana, Mohana,
Gopala.
I'll do it twice. Govinda,
Haribol.
That was Kirtan. Yes.
Haribol. So, thank you for chanting with us, for engaging Kirtan. And so now I'm going to give a yoga wisdom class entitled Soul Journey, a Spiritual Self-Discovery. So before I speak on yoga wisdom, first I'd like to offer my respects unto my spiritual teacher, my spiritual master, Jagat Guru Siddhaswarupananda Paramahansa, who's very kindly taught me this yoga teachings, this yoga wisdom, which I would like to share with you. And I'd also like to offer my respects to all of you, to all of you who are watching, and either now or perhaps in the future. So thank you for watching and listening and participating in the program. So this yoga wisdom program or talk is called Soul Journey, a Spiritual Self-Discovery. So that there's a couple of aspects to this, so soul journey, so raises the question, well, what is a soul? Who is a soul? And what kind of journey is the soul upon? And then a spiritual self-discovery, discovering spirituality, your spirituality, and the real spiritual nature of the truth, the absolute truth. So just to begin with, a spiritual self-discovery. So, the actual real meaning of life or purpose of life, is to seek out and discover answers to the real questions of life. What's really going on? What is this thing, life? Right? What is this world, this material world? Just what's really going on here? Of course, we take birth in these bodies, and slowly, we start to learn things about what's going on. Right? When you first take birth, you just obviously you're a baby, and babies don't really have a clue what's going on, right? They just all they know is their mother. They kind of hear the father's voice. They just know their sense of touch, their clothing, and they like to get wrapped up tight so that they can't just sort of flail around, right? They just like to feel secure, so they don't really know very much. We don't know very much as a baby. And, gradually, over time, as we begin to grow a bit older, we start to learn a little bit more about what's going on around. We can, see things better. We can hear things better. Over time, we gradually learn to say a few words like, mummy, daddy. We start to discover things about this world. And we see things with our eyes, we hear things with our ears, we touch things, we taste things. Of course, kids are always sticking stuff in their mouth, kind of a way to discover things. And, so in other words, we experience the world through the senses, and then, our parents teach us stuff. We ask them questions, what's this, what's that? Why is it like this? Why is it like that? And what does that mean? We read them, parents read your books, and so on and so forth. And this is kind of how you discover things. And you sort of, within this discovery process that goes on in a person's life, beginning from when they're a baby, there's all kinds of assumptions about what's really going on. We all kind of get taught that, you're a boy or a girl, your name is Sally or Sue or Peter or John, whatever it may be. Yes, we live in Australia, or we live in Hawaii. I'm now. How old are you now? Oh, I'm 3. Oh, you're 3. You know. Yes. Oh, yes. Johnny has blue eyes. Yes, Johnny has, blonde hair. Whatever it may be. So we begin to learn. Well, this is who I am. I'm Johnny, and I'm X years old, and I have certain color eyes and certain color hair, and so on and so forth. In other words, we learn everything in connection with the body. And then we learn, well, these are my parents, these are my siblings, these are my grandparents, these are my parents' friends. Those people, I don't know who they are, they're strangers. Some of them look different than me, they have different skin colors, or, different nationalities, different ethnicities, and so on and so forth. So we sort of discover things, and we sort of learn that this world is everything. This world is our home. This is where we live. Purpose of life is kind of like to hang out with my family, and then as I get a bit older, I learn I have to go to school, get an education. What's the purpose of this education? Well, so you can get a job, so you can maintain yourself, you can earn a living. So you can get married, have children, and this is like the purpose or the goal of life, right? Get married and have children, have a job, get a nice house, get a nice car. Then when you grow older, then you can retire, and you want to retire in comfort, so you've got to save up money for that, and and then you grow older, and you end up in an old people's home, and you just sort of rapidly deteriorate, and then you die. This is life. This is what we discover. Generally speaking, we discover that this is what life is about. So that actually, most people many people, in fact, there's a whole study of philosophy, and of course religion, all the world religions. It's all about, well, what is really going on here? Is there more to life than just taking birth, growing, getting a job, getting married, growing old, retiring, growing very old, and throughout that period of between birth and growing old, there's a bunch of diseases along the way, and then ultimately death. Okay, and what is it? Is this all there is? Is this all there is? And so, where did I come from? What am I? Just a combination of matter, and somehow or other life gets breathed into this matter somehow, and I come alive, and then when I die, that's it. It's all over. There's nothing. Just the chemicals break down. The chemicals that made up my body just break down, and I no longer exist. So this is kind of what we discover. So many people in the world hold this sort of atheistic worldview that you don't exist before you take birth, or before you conceive within the womb, and that when this body is finished, you no longer exist. It's like the atheistic worldview. And so, of course, this atheistic worldview leads to all kinds of issues, because if you hold that worldview, then it's like, well, what's the goal of life? Well, the goal of life is to enjoy yourself to the max, right? If it's only if that's all there is this temporary existence, then and the purpose is just to enjoy yourself as much as possible. Well, then of course, you'll live life like that, in a very self-centered way, only concerned with yourself and trying to enjoy through your senses. So, according in the yoga path, in the yoga teachings, so it's we're encouraged to actually seek out answers to the meaning of life, like to seek out answers. Well, who am I? Who am I really? Am I really just this temporary material body, or am I actually spiritual in essence? You know, is there a deeper meaning to existence in this world? Like, you know, why am I here? Why am I here in this world at all? Why do I exist at all? And why did I take birth in this particular family? Why did I end up with these people as my parents? How come I got these other people as my siblings who are hassling me? You know, like, who am I? Why am I here? You know, and what is the purpose of life? What's the purpose of it all? What's the purpose of my life? What's the purpose of this world? Why is it the way it is? And then also, you know, why am I experiencing suffering from the threefold miseries? Threefold miseries being miseries caused by my own body and mind. You know, like we experience, you know, diseases and injuries and accidents and, you know, maybe we have disabilities. And these are causing us some misery. And then our mind, you know, our mind is so active and often it's just hassling us, wanting us to do different things, you know, wanting, you know, like can't stop thinking about something that actually I don't want to think about. You know, so this is the nature of spiritual inquiry. So seeking out answers to these questions. Sorry, I didn't finish the three types of material miseries. So first is the material miseries caused by my body and mind. The miseries caused by other living entities. Oh my God, there's so many other living entities, billions of people, trillions of other animals. You know, there's dogs barking and roosters crowing. This is a bit of an issue in Hawaii and in Kailua. You know, it used to be that the roosters and chickens, wild chickens, they used to just be on Kauai. But then just over the last few years, suddenly there's like chickens, wild chickens in Kailua. Like when we've lived in Kailua now for 20 years, and the first 17 years I never saw a chicken ever. And then suddenly in the last maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years, suddenly there's chickens. And first of all, they were sort of confined in down in Kailua in the shopping centre, and just certain locations down there. And then suddenly now they're sort of manifesting in not our neighbourhood right here yet, but in where I go for a walk in the morning. Now there's roosters, and so, you know, I like to walk at first thing in the morning, and you know, just before sunrise and as the sun is coming up, suddenly there's these rooster sounds. And it's like, what is going on? You know, so like if you're trying to sleep and you got this rooster cock-a-doodle-doodling, it's like, wow, this is like really irritating. Now, of course, as in the big scheme of life, roosters crowing is not that big of a problem compared to what other people can do to you. You know, people can kill you or murder you or rape you or beat you up, assault you, steal from you. You know, this is the most egregious kind. But then, of course, there's just hassles of people just like being difficult. Like, why are you being difficult? You know, this is what we discover when we have a spouse and children. It's like, well, wait a minute, we're just supposed to get along, but no, somehow we're not getting along. We're in a conflict. Maybe a conflict over just some really minor, non-important thing. You know, that, you know, so everything can be difficult like this. So other living entities can cause us miseries. And the third kind of material miseries is miseries caused by, you know, natural forces, hurricanes, pandemics. And of course we can include with this, you know, natural forces and also social or national forces, government, society and so on. And so these are the threefold miseries. And so, you know, this human form of life is actually a very rare opportunity, you know, because we have the opportunity to inquire into these questions of who am I, why am I here, what is the purpose of life, and why am I suffering? And so actually there's a yoga text, ancient yoga text known as the Vedanta Sutra, and this is like a summary of all what's known as the Upanishads. And a sutra is a very sort of short, pithy, a short, pithy statement. And the very first sutra of the Vedanta Sutra is Om Athato Brahma Jignasa. Now is the time to inquire into the absolute truth. Athato, now, Brahma, the absolute truth, and Jignasa, inquiry. So now is the time to inquire into the absolute truth. And why is now the time? Now is the time because you're in a human form of life. In other forms of life, you can't inquire, right? Like, if you got a dog or cat at home, well, they can't inquire into the absolute truth. In fact, they're not interested at all. They're just interested in what's for dinner, and will you come over and pet me? And why are you sending me outside? I don't want to go outside. Oh, there's someone out on the street. Bark, 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 bark. Oh, there's a female dog. If I'm a male dog and I'm not neutered. Oh, there's a female dog. Right? So all about eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. This is animal life. Eating, what's for dinner? Sleeping, yes, I want to just sleep. Mating, some sex life, very important. And defending, defending my tuffet. What are you doing? Stay away from here. So this is animal life, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And in the human form of life, of course, we also do eating, sleeping, mating, and defending thing. But in the human form of life, we have the capability and the ability to inquire into the meaning of life. Why am I here? What is the purpose of life? Why am I suffering? We can make these inquiries. Now, human form of life is only very short. It's only, who knows how many years. Nobody has any guarantee on however many number of years, but let's say the average age of death is, say, 70 years old, whatever. Then it's like, in the first 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you're just like, you can't think about topics like this. And then you get sent off to school, and then you're very busy learning stuff at school. And then as you grow a bit older, you discover, oh, there's the opposite sex. That's very interesting. How do I get to know someone of the opposite sex? So then we spend our time thinking about boys or girls, and and then we get further educated and we start wondering about, well, how am I going to get a job? And then we start thinking about my job. Then I get a job, and then I'm thinking about the work I do, and then I get married. I have a family. I'm thinking about taking care of my family, and and throughout all of this, I sleep at least a third of my life, approximately a third of my life, and so we just get busy with other things. And so if you're actually attending a class like this, where you're hearing about yoga wisdom, then, so now is the time. Somehow or other, if you've become interested enough to actually watch a program, this specific program, or a program like this, where someone is speaking on the absolute truth and yoga wisdom, then it's like, well, now is definitely the time for you. Don't just take this lightly. This is a very serious subject matter. This is the most important thing. This could be the most important thing you ever hear. If you've never heard anything like this before, then please listen intently. This is most important. To seek out answers to life is, in fact, the purpose of life. So this leads to, so the second sort of part of the topic that we're discussing is soul journey. First part is a spiritual self-discovery. So we've talked about, well, what the purpose of life is, and that we should seek out and discover the answers to life. So then soul journey. So, so what is the soul? So the questions I was asking, who am I? So was the answer, most people of course think, that we're just the material body. And we identify ourselves based on our gender and our nationality, our ethnicity, our age, the physical characteristics of the body. But this body is temporary. It only exists for a very short time. Yet you feel, we feel that I'm ever existing. We have this feeling, like in others, we're afraid of death. We don't want to die. So why is this? Because we want to live. This is the natural tendency of everyone. We want to live. Even people who try and kill themselves, they don't, I guess that's a bit of a deeper topic, but, it's kind of like we want to live. But this body, it's temporary. It comes into existence, it exists for a while, and then it ceases to exist, at the time of death. But this, this body, I am not this body. This body is just a gross lump of matter. It's just it's like we have skin, and this skin is just like a bag. Like if you get a bag, you can fill it up with stuff, right? So this skin is like a bag. It's like a big leather bag. And inside this leather bag is, bones and flesh and blood, some bunch of body organs, and a stomach, and we stick things in the stomach, and then the stomach, through the colon, expels stuff. So we have stool and urine, different bodily fluids. We have things like eyes and ears, brains. So it's like just a collection. This body is just a collection of different stuff, and individually, any of this stuff is basically gross or disgusting. It's only when it's all in place and it's alive, that it is of interest. As soon as something gets disconnected from the body or leaves the body, it's like, ooh, yuck. But we aren't this body. We aren't this gross lump of matter. And similarly, we're not the subtle material body, the mind. So the mind is like a constant stream of mind stuff, of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And we can watch the mind just like as if we're watching a movie. It's just like this stream of stuff coming and going, stream of thoughts, stream of sense experiences, things coming into the mind through our different senses. And you can actually do what's known as the silent witness technique, where you can just close your eyes and you can just actually watch the stream of mind stuff flowing before your mind's eye. So the gross physical body it's like a computer hardware in a sense, and the subtle material mind is like the software, the software that operates the hardware. So we have a gross physical body and we have a subtle material body, but you are not this subtle material body, this ever-changing stream of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So you are actually a spirit soul, or the Sanskrit word is Atma. So the Sanskrit aphorism that's also contained within the Vedanta Sutra is Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman, I am spirit. I am spiritual in essence. I am a spirit soul. I am not this temporary material body, this temporary gross physical body, or this temporary subtle material body. I am eternal. Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 20, Na jayate mriyate vakadachin nayam bhutva bhavita vanabhuyaha ajo nitya sashvato ayam purano na hanyate hanyamani sarire. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. There is never birth nor death at any time for the soul. The soul has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. So this material body, it comes into being and at a certain time ceases to exist. So that the soul does not come into being. It has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. So the soul is eternal. So ajo nitya sashvato ayam purano. So ajo means unborn. So the body takes birth, but the soul is unborn. The soul is ever existing, nitya, ever existing. Another word Krishna uses to describe the soul is sanatana, which also means eternal. So the soul is eternal. It's always existing. Never is there a time when the soul does not exist. In chapter 2, text 11 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that na tvivaham jatunasam na tvam nemi janadivaha na chaiva na bhavishyamaha save vaya mata param. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, nor you, Arjuna, and nor any of these kings here. Bhagavad Gita is spoken in a battlefield. So Krishna is saying, never was there a time when Krishna himself did not exist, nor the person he's speaking to, Arjuna, nor to the kings here. So it never was the time when I, you, and anyone else did not exist. And never in the future shall we ever cease to be. Never. Never in the future shall we ever cease to be. So never was there a time when you did not exist, and never in the future shall you cease to be. So you are eternal. So now this idea of eternity, we can't get our heads around it. We're so materially conditioned. Right, as I was describing, we take birth in this body as a baby and so on, and so we get conditioned to the idea that, life exists for, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, something like this. And we think this is a very long time. And, so we tend to think of things in short time frames. This life, this lifetime. And, so it can, sometimes the question of, okay, reincarnation will come up. Okay, well, if I'm eternal and, if I'm transmigrating from one body to another, and I don't have time right now to describe in detail this process of transmigration, but, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in 2:13 that he says that just as in this body we go from boyhood to youth to old age, similarly at the time of death the soul takes on another body. And Krishna also describes that that this change of bodies is just like changing clothes, right? When our clothes get old and worn out, we change them and put on some new ones, So it's like, we just as we go through boyhood body, youth body, mature body, old body, so similarly at the time of death, we just take on a new body. This is the process of transmigration. And we transmigrate based upon our desires, which ways I want to enjoy, how do I want to enjoy things, and I get a body suitable for my enjoyment in the way that I want to enjoy, and also according to my karma or my action. So this very high-level overview of the transmigration of the soul from one body to the next, according to one's desire and one's karma. But so generally we start thinking, oh, this is very interesting. Bhagavad does, thank you. I wonder who I was in my last life. Right, so we start thinking like this. But actually, our existence in this material world is described in the yoga text as being anadi, beginningless. It can't be traced out. When I first, when I had a material body, when I took on a first material body, it can't be traced out. It's anadi, beginningless. So it's not a question of who I was in my last life. It's like, eternity is such a forever, as Jesus Christ said in his prayer, forever and ever, amen. Right? Forever and ever, forever and ever. So in the past, forever, previously, with no beginning point, anadi, beginningless, and forever into the future. This is eternity. This is eternity. And so you aren't this temporary material body. So this little life that you have that is just the all in all and the only thing you can think of and the most important thing you're ever thinking of, it's just a little blip, like a little fraction of a moment in eternity. So an analogy is given that, like, if you go down to the beach and the waves break, like if you go for a walk down Kailua Beach, the waves come in, they break, and as the waves break, bubbles are formed. And these little bubbles come into existence, but they don't last very long. Pop, they're gone, Or you see little kids have the soap things and they blow bubbles, and then a soap bubble forms and floats for a little while and then it pops. It's gone. So similarly, this material body is just like that. It's just like a little bubble that comes into existence for a little while, might grow a little bigger, and then it might begin to shrink, and then it pops. So this is what life is. This is what my life is what your life is. It's just a momentary experience throughout eternal time. It is not the end all be all. Of course, it's very important. It's very important because in this human form of life, this is when you have the opportunity to inquire into and seek out answers to the meaning of life and the purpose of life. So I will pretty much leave it there. And, I just encourage you to act upon this understanding that we are not the body, that we are eternal, that we do not die, that only the body dies. So thank you very much for listening. Appreciate you coming and participating in the program with us. And so we'll just have a short kirtan now. So thank you very much. hope to see you again soon. Haribol, namaste.
Namaste. We will chant the same mantra, Gopala Govindarama Madana Mohana. And I'll just sing it once and then you can respond.